What's up, everybody? Hey, you're watching the Recovery Clinic. Hey, I'm gonna scare you when you watch this camera. My name is Jimmy McGill, and I am the state of Arkansas's recovery manager. I'm also a person in long-term recovery from the disease of addiction. What that means is I no longer get high and act a fool today, that I have found a new way to live, and I've got a message to carry, and we've got an exciting guest today, and this is the Recovery Clinic. So if you have not already hit the like button and followed this page, please do so now. Share the video, tag your friends in the comments, get everybody rolling in here. I'm not going to talk no more till y'all start rolling in. No, I'm teasing. Hey, look.
Can we get a count?
Yeah. Hey, man, it's going to be an exciting show. We've got a really good friend of mine on here today. Actually, one of my best friends, and he's a peer recovery support specialist. He has been. He's worked in a number of different settings. Brett Franks, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Are you nervous?
No, I'm not nervous. I'm just thinking about things.
You thinking about me? I got you over here laughing. What's
Yeah.
up, Brett?
Oh, not a whole lot, man. Things are great.
Yeah?
Life is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
You look happy.
I am happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am happy. Like, for a long time when people would ask me how I was doing, it was, oh, I'm okay. And now, man, if I say I'm okay, I'm selling myself so short because life is amazing.
Okay.
Life is
Brett
so
just
amazing.
said when you ask him how he's doing, he doesn't say okay because okay is an understatement.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good stuff. So how long have you been clean, Brett?
Coming up on 5 years, August 2nd.
August 2nd will be 5 years clean from substances and alcohol. Any day.
Anything.
Okay.
Well, so if we want to throw tobacco in there, I am a little over 4.5, like right at 4.5 years.
Yeah, we ain't gonna hold your cigarettes against you, but we don't want you doing no drugs or
No.
alcohol. Hey,
don't want
so who is Brett Franks? Where's Brett come from?
Man, I come from South Louisiana. Yeah, I come from South Louisiana.
Cajun, crawdads, and
Everything. All of that.
crocodiles.
No, alligators.
Alligators.
You in Florida. You took a wrong. You took a wrong turn
Okay.
on I-10.
Hey, listen, what is the difference between a crocodile and an alligator?
A crocodile is very aggressive.
What's an alligator? Friendly?
An alligator is more docile than a crocodile.
Well, I'm not even sure what that word means. Docile?
So here's the deal. Like, if you jump in the water with an alligator and he's already eaten, you're pretty good. You can push him off of you. It's true.
Hey,
it's true.
listen.
Hey, I'm telling you, like
You ain't got to worry about me getting in the water with an alligator. Ever, Ricky. Ever. Okay, so South Louisiana. Is that where your drug use started?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in my mom and daddy's house.
Mom and Dad's house.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was, so the first time I started drinking with my parents, the first memory that I recollect from people talking about was sitting in my high chair at the table while my mom and dad played cards. And my dad had his beer sitting by me, and they caught me out the corner of their eye taking a sip out of it.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
So this is a childhood memory of your family telling you
telling me
you did.
about it. Yeah. So it actually went earlier than now with the knowledge of the disease of addiction. It went earlier than what I even recollected just from stories.
Yeah.
And I remember. Well, I don't remember, but they said that after a while, my dad went over there. I forgot. He went over there to reach for me or something. I guess it was time to go to bed. But when he went to reach for me, I had done slid out of my chair and hit the floor, and I was laughing on the floor.
Drunk.
Yeah. And
Drunk baby.
Yeah, drunk baby. And they just thought it was cute, And I can't hold it against them because they did the best they could with what they knew, And so that's where it started. That was where it started, Bless you.
Excuse me. Woo. Boy, I didn't see that coming. So, Okay, well, what was your first intentional use? Not a memory that your family told
My
you about.
first intentional use, I remember going in my mom and dad's bedroom, opening up the closet, and there was these duffel bags, and it was a weird smell coming from them, just like the weird smell we always had some sort of air freshener in my mom and dad's bedroom, and incense. I remember because my mom and dad was those '60s babies, and I remember unzipping it and just seeing all these green bags in there. And
Pot.
Yeah, it was
Loaded
marijuana.
out,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was marijuana, and it was it was some good stinky marijuana too. And I remember taking a bag out of there and taking it with me to my buddy's house. And my buddy's mom was okay with all of that. She would give us beers and stuff. And I took it over there to find out what it was, and she was like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "Yeah, you can smoke this." And I'm like, "Oh yeah." So I was like, "Cool." So my buddies, I would roll them up and stuff, and well, you want to roll them up and hand them out a little bit, and then I started selling it.
Yeah.
Well, so my dad and them's bags started to shrink. My dad and them's bags started to shrink, and we took a ride one night because my dad wanted to know where his product was going, and and that right then and there, and as we got in the car, we're going bowling. I'm like, my mom and dad don't bowl. My mom and dad hang out in bars.
Yeah.
And when we jumped in the car, my dad lit a cigarette, and the smell hit me, and right then and there, I knew I was busted. And so my dad told me, he said, like, this is the business, you don't realize how much money did you make off of what you took. I mean, I was a kid, like, enough to buy me some chips, some chips and some beef jerky. I was a beef jerky fanatic.
Yeah.
And maybe some toys. and sure enough, so that's really whenever I learned how to operate scales, learn how to separate things, and learn weights, measurements, and prices. Prices first off.
So how long did you use drugs?
So from the age of 9 until I was 36.
Long time.
A long time, yeah. So it went. There was big pieces in between where I worked in the oil field, and I couldn't get high or drunk. But whenever I was in prison, and I could have, right? Like, 'cause prison has all of that.
Yeah.
But the reason I got high and drunk wasn't to do it and hang around and kick it with a whole bunch of guys, and I chose not to. But the whole time I was in there, I obsessed about getting out and getting high.
How many times did you go to prison?
3,
Was all that drug related?
all drug related.
So addiction really took you to some dark places.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's wild. So how did you find recovery?
So,
Which would have been almost 5 years ago.
yes,
August.
almost 5 years ago in August. So, I guess, like, getting back to my younger age, my dad was Southern Baptist, my mom was Catholic, and my dad allowed us the freedom to choose our own religion. And exploring both of them, I couldn't find any reason to believe in none of that. So I grew up atheist, and that was my chosen religion growing up. I had friends that did the same thing, and we had our clique, and that's just what it was. And so I got involved with a lady, my wife. I got involved with my wife, Stacy. She was on here a couple weeks ago, and we met, and I took her down through there, like all the way down through there. I asked her time and time again. I said, "Hey, when are we gonna get together?" She couldn't. She picked me up, brought me to her house to visit one of her friends, and I never left. Like, I'm still here. Like, I literally never left. And I kept telling her, I was like, when are we going to be together? And she's like, I don't date drug dealers, and I don't want to be in a relationship. And I told her, I said, you don't know it yet, but you do, you know. And I wound up taking her down through there, and she actually stole my car, my car, and went to, got some help in California. And when she got back from California, she came looking for me. And, you know, and I always say, like, you know, I am a newfound Christian. So we always say that God set me on a path headed straight for him so that he could put me in the right spot to take her to her lowest bottom so that she could go to California and learn how to walk back into the depths of hell to come back in and save my life. And in turn, introduce me to a more powerful being than I've ever knew it could exist, you know, and people like no other. So really, it wasn't because I was having a bad day. I actually started going to a 12-step program to support her because I didn't have a problem.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem. Like, I was good. My dope man still had dope. And if I didn't have money in my pocket, he would probably front it to me. So I was good. And I knew that whenever I wanted to stop, I could stop. So I didn't have a problem like she had a problem. Because when she stopped one substance, she had to have something else. And I didn't have that problem.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. So your pathway was a 12-step pathway?
Yeah, it was 12-step. And, you know, so, like, I want to let everybody know out there, right? So, all of these different types of recovery out there, y'all out there bashing one and bashing the other and bashing the other, they are all set up exactly the way they're supposed to for a reason. Like, I understand MAT works because I visually watch it happen on a daily basis. I watch people on a faith-based program do amazing things. I've watched people in 12-step programs do amazing things. But as for me, if I would have walked into a 12-step program and there was any talk about Jesus in there, I'd have been gone. It would have been over with. I wouldn't be. I have no doubt in my mind that I would not be alive today, because where I was at, I was that close to it. You know. You know, all the hating, we just need to work together because we're all doing it together, right? I mean, that's where I'm at with that.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. So do you see a lot of hate from different pathways?
I do. So, like, you know, the faith-based community, I'm not talking about all of y'all, because some of y'all are so open-minded and, like, I don't want to get it twisted.
Your brain might fall out.
Yeah, I don't want to get y'all to get it twisted like I'm talking about the entire community, because they have some faith-based community out there. They're like, hey, we understand this. Like, we understand that we need this and this and this, right? And then some of them, they're like, well, if you don't do it this way, then there's no other way to do it. And I'm no fool. I watch people walk through recovery in multiple pathways, and they're killing it today. You know, some of my best friends out there are doing things. Just because something works for me, don't mean that it's going to work for somebody else. But with me, in my career, I get the opportunity to learn multiple pathways of recovery. Now, when it comes to my recovery, I apply my recovery to my program. And that's how I live my recovery. That's how I keep things going. I can't work my job as my recovery because that don't work out ever. But, you know, so when it comes to learning those multiple pathways of recovery, I get the opportunity to watch people in different pathways succeed. And, like, I would be a fool to tell them they're not doing it right whenever they're living an amazing life the way I am. You know, I mean, that would be something foolish to knock somebody down whenever they're living their best life. You know, we're all here to help each other. If I see someone falling short, I will help them because maybe I've been through that. and that's what we do. And I would hope that if someone else sees me falling short, that they would come and be honest with me and talk to me about it as well.
Yeah.
You know.
Only thing that really gets me is I can't rap. And there was a time when it was me, so I definitely relate. But there is a lot of judgment that come from recovering people about recovering people, and that's actually called self-righteousness.
Yeah.
When
forget where they came from.
Yeah, man, you get clean for a few years, work a few steps, and you forget about all the shady stuff you did.
Oh yeah.
And me, I come from a long line of hurting people and taking things that isn't mine. I come from a long line of going in and out of incarcerated facilities, right? Yeah. Like at an early age, I was snatched off the street, locked up, gangbanger, you name it. My life progressed in a very negative manner. And so people in my life that were in addiction, like I was in addiction, we were doing things that the worst of the litter were scared of.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
I get it.
If you're in recovery and your pathway is keeping you from waking up and shooting fentanyl every morning,
yeah,
and it's keeping you from breaking in my house or from hitting me upside my head, you're not hurting anyone physically. If you're getting up and going to work instead of robbing somebody,
yeah,
welcome to recovery.
Amen. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
if you're being a parent to a child
that never knew you,
instead of leaving them at home unattended and going to chase a sack of dope,
or leaving them in the living room while you're hiding out in the closet or the bathroom on the other side,
then welcome to recovery.
Yeah. Welcome to recovery. Yeah.
If you're not being your worst self because of whatever you're doing, keep doing it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have to have an opinion on everything.
No.
And that's the difference, right? Like a lot of people in recovery, you guys seem to think you have to have an opinion on stuff that ain't your business.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so like one of the hardest things that I ever learned in recovery was how to mind my own business. Because what some people think is their business
ain't
like,
your business.
I had someone talking about me. My name was fully in their mouth. And I was like, whoa. And my sponsor was like, whoa, hold up. Man, just because they're talking about you don't mean it's your business. Oh, really? Really? I said, man, everything in front of there and behind there don't have nothing to do with you. They got your name in your mouth. Just leave it be.
Yeah.
Because when you finish with it, you ain't got nothing to say if I'm not giving you no reason to say it. And if it's figment of your imagination, who am I to say anything about it? The people that mean anything is going to know it's not true anyway.
Yeah. But I got to say this, Brett. It takes a long time for a person to get to a stage in their recovery where they're not judging other people's pathways.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Does.
Like I literally had to see successful people doing things that I couldn't do.
Yeah.
Because the fact that you could take a drug and live normal was mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it. That was the most ridiculous thought in the world. You're going to use an opiate to get off of opiates? I could not wrap my head around that. It did not make sense. But then in seeing success stories like, what's the girl? Not Brittany Boyce. Brittany Boyce is one of them. Stacey Franks.
My wife, yeah.
What's the girl that does all the? She's got more followers than I got almost. She's coming on in a couple of weeks. What's her name?
Nicole?
I don't know. Nikki. Nikki, yeah. She is she got clean through the 12 steps of Myra.
Yeah.
And now is, man, she's got almost 100,000 followers on TikTok. She's got thousands of followers on YouTube. Like, that's what you have to see. You've got to see the success stories. If you don't see the proof with your own eyes, no one's ever going to believe it works.
Yeah, so like my 12-step program taught me how honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness, right? So I have to be honest about what's going on in my life. I have to be open-minded to a new way of life, and then I have to be willing to put forth the footwork. And and the thing is like my wife, like that was, I struggled with that too. I struggled with that too, and I cast judgment too, and you know, and that's something, that's one of my demons, one of my crosses I have to I have to carry myself, you know, and it's something that I have worked through. So when I found out that my wife got clean that way, I was like, well, hold on. And I watch her, I see her every day, you know, and I know she's doing good every day. And so I started looking into it a little bit deeper. And with her working at a medically assisted treatment facility, I get the option to I get the opportunity to see things happening, you know, like I get to see, just like where I work, I get to see things happen, just like all of my jobs in the past, like, because my job is, I work in the recovery field, and so to see people, you know, whenever I facilitate groups to people, to individuals, I facilitate multiple pathways. I exercise multiple pathways. That's why I study multiple pathways. It's not because, oh, maybe I'm going to look for something that's going to work better for me. One thing works for me. I know what works for me. I study those other pathways so that I'm knowledgeable whenever a peer asks me, hey, look, so I don't think this is going to work quite because of this. Do you know of another way? And I can tell them, yes, this right here, you can go here and here. And if they have any questions, I can give them an honest, factual fact instead of my opinion on what I think that means. You know, because the fact of the matter is I'm not going to feed them any BS, and I expect them not to feed me any BS. And our relationship works that way. The more open they are with me and honest they are, the easier it is for me to help them, as well as vice versa.
Yeah, that's good, man. So where did let me ask you this. You mentioned working in the recovery field.
Yes.
How's that different from working in the treatment field?
So, man, like what I do in the recovery field is so much different than a counselor. As a peer, I get the opportunity to do things that counselors don't. I get to go up and above. I get to, now granted, it has to fit the place that I'm working, right? So if they are open where I work to me giving rides, then that is an option. I can give the peers rides. A counselor can't go with the peer when they go to their court date. I can go and advocate for that peer at that court date. Hey, look, you know, I've been working with them side by side. This is what we've been doing. This is what I know. If you have any questions, you know, and we go from there. I
didn't know a counselor couldn't go to court. I thought they just couldn't, you know, go. I knew they couldn't go out to eat or cross some, you know, private boundary. But I didn't know they couldn't go advocate it for court. But
okay, so I may be mistaken right there.
Yeah.
I may be mistaken right there. But like you said, you know, they can't go out with me. I can do stuff like that, you know. I can give them rides places when they need rides places.
Yeah.
You know, and different things along those lines.
It's good. It's good. So where did your career in recovery start at?
My career in recovery started at the sheriff's office.
What sheriff's office?
Lone Oak County.
I got some history with Lone Oak County.
I have some history with them too.
That's where I hit my bottom.
Yeah.
Lone Oak. I was in a pink jumpsuit trying to play tough.
Fuchsia. Every time you get put in that pink, you are Confucius.
Confucius.
Yeah.
Funny.
So,
tell me about that. Tell me about the sheriff's office.
So the sheriff's office, you know, it's crazy because whenever I saw, you know, so that position at the PAC project at the time, got started by Casey Copeland. Amazing guy. He's a great friend of mine, doing big things. Another person who come from a past and I got the call one day from Sheriff Staley, and he said, "Hey, we need somebody over here. Casey got another job, and we want to know if you want the job, you know." And we worked through some things, and he wound up hiring me over there, and it was new, it was different. It took me about 6 months of walking into the back before I realized the door's going to open anytime I push the button now, and you know, so like through that first year, I'm gonna go a little over that because we went a year and a half. So we went the 6 months and then we pulled the year before we actually did the stats on the PAC program. And the PAC project, now it's gonna be over this, but I don't know exacts. But we saved Lonoke County in that first year and a half over $300,000 in recidivism rate. At the end of that first year and a half, we had a 56% success rate, which meant the guys that got out of the program that are normally back in jail within 2 to 3 weeks after leaving were successfully working. They were contacting me on a regular basis. They was working a program, and they was doing the things that was asked for them by the court system, and that was carried on. And we had a great successful graduation. I remember it was at the recovery awareness day, and we had the big, you know, it was amazing. And you know, so like there's where my career actually started, because then I got thrown in and like I was scared. I was like, well, look, how am I going to do this, you know? And you and the panel came in there, and that was really what made me the most nervous. It was like, because whenever I came in there, I had confidence, and I get in there and I did what I was supposed to do, and then one day I walk in there and there's a panel standing back there, and it was you, Casey, who else was there? Bonnie Stribling. And they're all standing there, and I'm like, because like I remember taking my test, and they said, okay, so you just want to be the laxative in the group. You know, when the group grows stale, you want to feed it a little bit and let it continue to work. And and me, I took that as I can't say anything because I'm a talker. So I remember getting in there, and yeah, it's you know, it's just come a long way. That's where I learned how to facilitate groups. That's where I learned the most about my career, and that's where I got the opportunity to make, you know, because most of my friends up until that point were recovering drug addicts, and now I have
normal friends.
Well, I mean, as normal as you want to call them normal, right? So,
so like, Sheriff Staley ain't normal. Hey, if you watch and tag him in it and tell him I said so. Like, I don't know what's wrong with his thinker, but it doesn't operate at normal capacity.
No,
right?
but he's a great man, though.
Yeah, I love
and
him.
He will give you the shirt off of his back. Don't pee him off.
Yeah, he might beat up somebody and take their shirt and give it
to you. You're getting a shirt, right?
Nah, he really is a good sheriff, man.
He is. He's a great person.
Loves this county, loves helping people. He's definitely one of my go-to people in my life. So what do you do now for a living?
So now for a living, it's I have a couple of jobs. I do have a couple of jobs. Yes, I do. My main job is I work for Incura.Inc.
Okay.
I facilitate groups for them.
Okay.
And
what's Incura?
So Incura is a non-narcotic drug detox through NAD. And NAD is something that the body produces to help build itself. It heals the skin, it heals the body from the inside out. And while that's working, they're in group with me while I facilitate groups so that they learn all the skills and stuff that they may have lapsed because someone wasn't there to teach it to them as they was growing up.
That's good. That's
and
good
just
stuff.
got to get them ready. I also work for Cornerstone Construction. It's a great roofing company, and also I work for Ward Parks and Recreation. I keep score, and I do the vending as well as
You got a lot of jobs, Brett.
I do. I have a full life. And while I'm not doing that, I'm answering phone calls for peers that are needing help.
That's good, man.
Yes.
So what are some of the blessings that you've experienced now because of recovery?
Oh man, one of the things that I used to do was cry about my family not calling me. Oh, it was my birthday. Nobody loves me. Poor me. It was it's crazy. So one of the blessings that I have now is my family contacts me on a daily basis. Matter of fact, my family's watching this right now.
good.
They watch it.
Hey, Brett's family.
They watch it every week. I tagged them in it every week, and I just got married. I got married. As I said earlier, Stacy said she didn't want to be with me. Never. I told her, you don't know it yet, but you do. And
You kidnapped her.
oh, all the way. We're not going to say kidnapping. He didn't mean that, Sheriff Staley. Because I kind of just admitted to it. All right, can we cut that part?
No, this is live. It's live.
Yeah, so like I called Stacy. It's like 5 days before the wedding, and she said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I told you." She said, "What do you mean you told me?" I said, "I told you you was gonna be with me forever." And
You should have called her and said, "Listen, I changed my mind. I don't want to
oh
do
my
this."
gosh.
Forever
Boy.
became tomorrow. Nah.
So another blessing is I'm a faithful believer in Jesus Christ these
Yeah.
days.
There you go.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
Good stuff.
It is so amazing. Yeah, like, there's just nothing more I can say about it.
Yeah. It's a good gift.
I have. We're in the process of moving. So when we got to recovery, we had given everything away. I don't want to say loss. We didn't have it. We gave everything away, house, everything, and I remember at the time. I was staying in one of my buddy's houses, and we didn't have a place to go.
Yeah.
It said, "Look, you stay as long as you can." And really, what it was they was ready to do what they was ready to do, and because they saw we was doing something different, and it didn't fit their lifestyle. So I told Stacy, I said, I was at the point to where I didn't know what to do,
Yeah.
right? Because I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna go talk to your mom. And her mom said 2 weeks before that, when Brett sees me, you tell him to look at the floor, because she didn't really like me too much. As amazing as I thought I was, she didn't think that. So I went and I spoke with her, and she said, look, it's all females in this house. I'm not going to move a male in this house that I don't know, especially one that's done what you've done. So she said, y'all can put a tent on my property and stay in that tent. And she had a back porch, and I bought a tent that fit the back porch perfectly. And then off the house, I put a tarp so that the rain wouldn't get in the tent. And there was a bad storm one night, and she said yes. And I remember in recovery, that was my first success. To me, that was my first success.
It's good.
It meant something to me. And I got to learn something from that, right? So, like, whenever someone said to humble yourself, I thought that was a form of humiliation up until that point when my sponsor said, you just practice humility.
Yeah, it's good.
I said, I wasn't humiliated at all. He said, no. He said, you humbled yourself.
Yeah.
He said, you did something that most people struggle with doing. And he said, you stepped out of yourself. So in saying that, like, we went from there to the living room, her second living room, from her second living room to a camper, from a camper to a 2-bedroom apartment. And now this is as time's growing, right? So as time's growing, her son's seeing something different, and he's ready to move in. And by that time, I had accepted Christ into my life. And he came to me, he's like, what do we need to do for me to move in? And where we was living in Lonoke County housing, he couldn't move in because it was 2-bedroom. It was against the law. So I said, well, let's pray about it. So we prayed, and I made a phone call to the landlord. And the next morning, she calls me back. She said, right next door, there's a 3-bedroom. She's going to be moving out in 3 weeks.
There you go.
So we started packing our stuff up, and boom, 3 weeks later, he was in with us for good, you know? And so we've been in this 3-bedroom for quite a while. And, you know, God has blessed us in multiple ways, and we had the opportunity to go look for us a house. We found us a 5-bedroom house on an acre of land, and
look at God.
Man, what?
Yeah.
So to rewind that a little bit, not long before that, was it year before last, my mother-in-law calls. She's my mother-in-law now. This is the lady who told me to look at the ground whenever I walked by her, and it was on Mother's Day. And she said, are y'all coming by? And we said, yeah, we were on our way, actually. We was going to bring her Mother's Day gift. And when we walked in, she said, I want y'all to sit down. She said, I need to talk to y'all about something. And she had a little scare. She was in the hospital for a little bit. And she said, you know, I'm getting older. And she said, sooner or later, I'm going to have to retire. And she said, there's lots of times whenever I need help. And whenever I call, Brett's there. He's always there. And
It's good.
yeah. And she said, you know, I have 3 acres of land here, one for each of my kids. Your brother knows which one he wants, and we want y'all to choose y'all acre, and I want y'all to move here now so that you can be by here. So it's not a nuisance to come back and forth. When I need something, you're right here.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's blessings upon blessings. Like, you know, for someone to trust me that much to move me in on their property and full on sign over the property. So here in this next year, what we're doing is we're building the property up to move on it. And after this year, we'll be in our forever home.
It's good, Brett.
Yes.
It's good. So what we like to do is like to give the guests the last minute or two to look in the camera and just tell anybody viewing whatever you wanted to hear. You know, you got a couple of minutes, you can just talk to them and anything you want to say.
Okay, if you're out there and you're struggling right now and you think that getting clean or sober is going to be the most boringest thing that you've ever done in your life, and you just don't know how to do it, my phone number is 501-394-8108, and I don't care who hears it and says it. Give me a call. I will help you get into treatment. I will help you get in a house placement. I can help you get a job. And if I can't help you, I know someone who can. It was done for me, and I will continuously do it over and over again until I can't do it anymore. Life is very fulfilling, and I will walk with you through your trials and tribulations because it was done for me. Other than that, man, like, I love you. Even if you don't know me, I know you. Been there. I've been there. And if you're struggling with listening to someone else share their experience because you don't relate, because maybe you didn't do that drug, or you didn't do that this, or you didn't do that they did, I strongly suggest you think about the feelings you had when you was in the back of that cop car in handcuffs, sitting in that cell alone, or trying to find something that wasn't there, because we all relate to that. And that right there will help you understand the relatability in the disease of addiction. With that being said, I thank y'all for having me.
Thanks, Brett.
Yes, sir.
That's good stuff. So tune in next Wednesday at 11 o'clock. We've got Joseph Cruz and Officer Mickey coming to talk about how an addict and a cop can partner up to make the community a better place. It'll be an exciting show. Thanks so much, Brett, for coming on. It was good stuff. Thanks for sharing your story. As always, if you need help, message the page. Ashley is behind the scenes, ready and on fire, chomping at the bit to help you get the resources you need to live a normal, productive life. And so with that said, we'll see you guys next Wednesday.